Hello. Welcome to our channel. Glad all of you can join us. So, Mr. Onukanga, yes, Emmanuel Isabella, yes, and Nigeria, Nigeria is one of 54 countries in Africa. What? So, just to talk a little bit about 3 more countries in Africa. Nigeria is one of 54. And I want to talk about 3 more. And my main man, Onukanga Emmanuel Nzubete. What? And excuse me. Nigeria, like I said, is one of the countries in more I want to talk about today, and I want to talk about talk about the culture and the different foods. Yes, so it's all good. Because I have never even researched on any of these countries in Nigeria. Never. I mean, in Africa, never. Nigeria probably has other countries within Nigeria, but I want to talk about the 54 countries. So sometimes I have to make sure make sure I'm saying the right things. There are 54 countries in the continent of Africa, and my main man, Mr. Olin Congo, yes, met him, and I just wanted, to learn a little bit more about the, I guess I would say the Africa, and some of those 54 countries in Africa. I want to learn a little bit more about those cultures. There are 54 countries in Africa, but they all have their different differences, and I guess I would say they have their different cultural and different things. But all 54 countries in Africa is so they have their differences, and I wanted to explore all 54 countries in video. So I think I did. I don't know if I did about 10. I think I did about 10 my own video, but today I am. Oh, and then if I have a little more time, I would song Emmanuel Isabella. I wish he was here to give us a little more insight in Nigeria. So I did send him the link. So they are on a different time zone. So I is now 4:14, 4:14 in the United It's 9:15 over there in Nigeria. Let me get started. Let's start out with culture. Then I'll go into Zimbabwe, Rwanda, and Niger. So let's in culture and see what differences they have as opposed to the United States of America. Yes, it's all. So I like to say it's all good because I don't want to say it's all bad, even though good and to keep a good frame of mind. I like to keep my mind in a good frame of mind, at all times. But I know that is hard to do. I give honor to. So give honor to God. Say my about the African. Let's talk about that. I know there are bases in to so when you're traveling or when you're thinking about traveling, it is definitely a good idea to check in, do some research on the culture that you are about to embark on. And you might want to check into the that they speak. I know Africa, I think they speak over where it says they speak over languages. So then I need to do a little more America, but I don't know if they have over here. But I know our main language is English. So I know, and we do have different states, other cultures that, I guess I would say migrated to the United States of America, like Spanish, like France. Some people, migrated from Nigeria, Nigerians, however you want to put it, but so we have different cultures over here. Is what I'm trying to. I know if I were to travel to Nigeria, I would not even know the language. But in Nigeria, they do speak English. So let me see what they are: varied and manifold, consisting of a mixture of countries with various tribes, depicting their unique characteristics and traits. Generally, culture can be defined as a collective mass of distinctive qualities, knowledge, art, custom belonging to a member of that society. Culture is a way of life of a group of people. So, in other words, our culture, it could be our art, our customs. Our customs ordinarily do in our culture, like, in other words, ordinary people, like in American culture, we all, most of us like fried chicken, most of us like to go to church, we like to dance, and things that we believe in. Our attributes, our customs, our art, our knowledge, our beliefs, it's a way of life for or a group of people. So the way of life, how do we live? So in other words, when you go to another culture, see that they live differently. Because just by looking at the videos, I have seen the way different video. I look at a lot of videos on YouTube. Look at the videos on Nigerian culture and different other countries in Africa. So now you can ethnic such as language, dishes, greetings, dressings, and dances. So in other words, what is so however each of the regions of Africa shares those cultures from each other and the rest of the world. Right. So they're saying that they have different regions in Africa, like West Africa, Northern Africa, Eastern Africa. They all have their different cultural differences, the things that they do within their culture in that particular region area of Africa. It says, for example, social values, religion, and values of African cultures. So do your research. Uh, 54 countries in Africa. Then you want to know more about the culture. Well, you can look at the videos. That's one thing, but it's good. It's good to within their cultural. Excuse me, within their culture. So their beliefs, their knowledge, their customs, things that they order here in the American culture. We have a lot of things that we may do that they don't do over there, or over there in Nigeria, or even any one of those 54 countries in Africa. Has influenced and been influenced by other continents, right? Africa, Asia, Europe. This can be put to modern world rather than staying rooted in their static culture. The westernized, yep, because your culture is your religion. Your religion is part of your culture. A cultural was denied African traditional culture, but with the increase of African nationalism, a cultural recovery occurred. The governments of most African nations encouraged national dances. So I didn't know. And look, they said the government encourages dance. So I never heard anything like African nations encourage national dance. So they wanted, Africa. 90 to 95% of Africa's cultural heritage. It is also important to note in the British Broadcasting Corporation of identity, 50 to 60% of British, Black, or African Caribbean respondents agree that ethnicity key role, the largest of any group. The singular viewpoint of Black as an identifier or and only denies cultural differences between the population. It also within a vastly diverse community. When we are viewing broad ethnicity, comprising different and culture. They have their culture have been influenced by other cultures, so they don't want to feel looked at as just having, one type of culture. They don't want to be boxed. It says their heritage. So in other words, they don't want to be labeled as, I guess, this, when they have so many different within Africa. See, African cultures, which originally, they have several distinct differences than that of Black culture, which originated by African Americans in the United States after they were stripped of most of this, are that African fairs to only be worn during specific events, whereas to African Americans, such as hip hop, jazz, ham boning, and soul food. So that's what I'm saying, fried chicken. So in other words, they're saying that when you're looking at the continent of Africa, they have several distinct differences than that of Black culture. So they are than that of Black culture. That means like us, the African Americans. African Americans then in the America. After they were stripped most of their African cultures during enslavement. Cultures from slave ship, that's where they were transported to slaves in Virginia, Maryland, different states, New York. So we had slaves. But slavery was it was allowed because it was in the Constitution of the United States of America. And that's something I thought about that. I'm like, what? Yes. And then I also heard about the slave castle that they have over there. They have the slave. It's more than one. There are more than one slave castles. So I make it plural. So I don't want to get into that in this video, but maybe another video. So let me move on. Some differences are that African cultures retain tribal affairs only be and dances, and when they have different events, they wear certain tribal masks, and they do certain dances, hand carving, and that culture is in Americans, such as hip hop, soul food. Right, it's linked to soul food, jazz, hip hop music, rap music now. So we are definitely in our culture, though some Africanisms were retained in Black culture. Other American culture and history was created by Black Americans. The same can be noticed and noted in Caribbean cultures from the descendants of the enslaved, as well as such as culturally different expressions, food station and continent being formed uniquely in places like Bahia and Brazil. I'm not going to read all of this, but it says Africa is divided into a great number of ethnic cultures. Like I said, there are 54 different cultural environments in Africa. So 54 countries in Africa with different cultures, I guess different ethnic groups, different cultures, different way of doing things, different beliefs, different dances, different dress codes. So they are saying that the cultural differences, the culture in Africa and the African Americans over here in the United States, but our culture is different, and we do things differently than the blacks over there in Africa. So that's what it says. Our culture provides us with an ethos. Ethos we must honor. And ethos we mean the people's self-understanding as well as its self-presentation. It's so good. Olukonga, I wanted him to come up and explain a little bit more about the 4 countries, and it's all good. Yes. So I guess eventually he will come, and I want to have an interview with her, so his family, insight of what it's like living in Nigeria, because who can better tell us about the culture than the person who's living in it? Yes, it's so yes. Uh-huh. Zimbabwe. That was just little a little bit about the culture in Nigeria. So they did a lot of art and dance, different types of clothes that they wear. The clothes that they wear are nothing like the clothes American culture. Uh, it says then they have the different, but some of them may be similar to some of the dishes that we have over here. Based on the ingredients that they, but because they do rice, and we do have that over here in the United States of America. So we do. We cook, rice, and also the Chinese culture. They cook with Olukonga says, he does all the cooking, in his house, and he makes a lot of soups. Put in the rice, put in the fish, different things. But Africa, home to approximately 1/3 of the world's languages, anywhere between 1,000 and 2,000 languages. Now, I did when I researched it before, they said they have over 500 languages. There's dozen languages. The main ethno-linguistic divisions in Africa are Afro-Asiatic, have approximately 200 languages covering the Horn of Africa, Central Sahara at the top now to 16. It's also the largest language family in the world. The Niger Congo languages inhabit western, central, eastern, and southern. The Bantu language, Nilo-Saharan, and parts of the Sahara and the Sahel, and parts of eastern and Khorasan, indigenous minorities of southern. That is so good. Yes, so approximately 140 languages with some scattered in Central and Eastern Africa. Last but not least is the Khoisan family with between 40 and 60. And it says the continent of Africa speaks hundreds of languages, and if dialects spoken by various ethnic groups, these languages and dialects do not have the same importance. Others are languages over there that are spoken by a few hundred people, and then that are speaking citizen languages that they have over there. Some people I know their main language is English, and then they have all these other languages. The language of Africa is Swahili. I heard about Swahili. I like to see how they type of, I want to see how they, what it sounds like. Swahili, I know I would never. The most widely spoken language in Africa is Swahili. With 100 million people, I guess, that speak that language. The Hausa people, and then the Yoruba, 20 million, Farik, 20 million, Igbo, 21 million speaks that language, and Fula, and so I mean, it's just, I guess, but so it is what it is. Yes, so what? So then it said Fula, 13 million, the Congo family. Very few countries of Africa use any single language. Very few countries. So I guess they're saying that most of the countries in Africa, very few countries in Africa. So very few of them speak a single language. So most of them speak, more than one language. So that's, in the United States of America, we would have to learn it. I mean, I would think that we would have to learn. I mean, because I was born and raised in the United States of America, and I only speak one language. And if I want to courses on YouTube, but I know me myself. I can only speak for myself, so I know that I came up, speaking English. English was the only language. I did take French. I did take French in elementary of the language, so I didn't keep it up. But it's good. I really appreciate that because I did learn a little bit, but I do want to go and learn a little Spanish because I know his you his, so she speaks English, and I guess she took a course to learn English, or I think, and I guess they came over here to the United States. So she was born over here, but so I don't know how they. He's he's mixed, so he's like Spanish and African American, but he speaks real good. I guess that depends on the language. So they speak, they have two languages. They speak Spanish and they speak. So let's go look at Zimbabwe, which is one in Africa. Zimbabwe. So Zimbabwe, Rwanda, and Nigeria. Let's Zimbabwe. Culture and food in Zimbabwe, Africa. Main staple of Zimbabwe food in Zimbabwe has remained traditionally African for the most part. However, left its mark. Common British spices. So over there in Zimbabwe, they do eat, some of the same things we eat over here in America. So they have over here in the American culture, we deal with different things that we make. Bread, plenty of bread. We have United States of America. So let's look at the Africa. It says Africa and the Middle East. It says let me see, Zimbabwe. The main staple of Zimbabwe is used in a variety of dishes. Right. Food in Zimbabwe. I just read this though. Food in Zimbabwe. In other words, food in Zimbabwe is traditionally remain. The food is traditional, basically around Africa. That's the same type of food that they eat in Zimbabwe. A common dish around in Zimbabwe, and it's stiff maize meal that's like a thickened porridge. It gets into meat, sauce, gravy, sour milk, or it's called pork. Some like it hot, some like it cold. I guess porridge over here, back in the day, we used to call it porridge. We don't call it porridge no more. I mean, in the U.S. What? So let's move. Bata is porridge. Peanut butter, milk, butter, or jam, and it's traditionally eaten for breakfast. Davi or dovi into Zimbabwe during the 16th century. So the Portuguese, so when you bring something, when you in the century, as a result, it has become an important ingredient in many dishes. So when the Portuguese, they this in Zimbabwe, they started using they started using the peanut butter in a lot of dishes, and then they have the hedzi, nahedzi. This is a soup made with wild mushrooms over here in the U.S., but we do have mushrooms. I never heard of wild mushrooms, but who knows? Go to the grocery store, you never know what you may see. Then they have something called the mapopo candy, crops in Zimbabwe, and so the locals make it into candy. Papaya is cooked. It sounds like something I can whip, but it's so good. Yes. That's it. Oh, then they have some drink beer. Okay. Beer is the most popular animal. Waha is a traditional maize beer. However, Zimbabwe's national beer called Zambezi. That's Zimbabwe's national beer. Other major beers include Iron Eagle and South African spirits and liquids are bars. Mezzo orange drink is a favorite drink. So that's what you want. You want to drink and no chemicals. So they have different names for their beers that we have over here. Because over here we have Budweiser and but I can't even think of none of the names. I know Budweiser and I can't think of none of the names. That's the only name I can. Because I don't even drink beer, but when you go to the store, I see it out. I see the different flavors of wine that they have. But I can do a quick Google search. Traveler is a safer traveler. That's what I've been saying all the time. And well informed, know where are the hot spots. Where are the you want to know where certain spots are, and you know you stay on. You book your hotel on a resort. And your restaurants, indoor swimming or whatever amenities or features you need when you travel. But they say well-informed traveler is a safer traveler because you want to know about the crime in a particular area before you travel. I mean, even in the that you live in or state that you live in, and even when you travel, when you are traveling from state. So those other states within the United States of America, I still want to know about the crime rate. I want to know about the culture. I want to know about the crime rate. I want to have it's a safe state. So do your research. Do your research. You know where you want to travel. Do your research on hotels. You research on that. Do your research on um, crime in the area. Do your research. I mean, you might want to learn a little bit about the language. Whatever you want to learn about what you think you need to learn before you travel. You need to know about the percentage rate if airline. So just do your research all around, all the way around. Learn about the history. Learn about the history of the food and drink, and what to pack out like. So this could be, and should learn about Zimbabwe's nature and wildlife. So I didn't know they had wildlife. Weather, because when you travel, a lot of times time zones are different. So our time zone over here in uh, in Nigeria, this a five. Nigeria is a 5 hour difference. I know. Olukonga, his brother resides in Asia, so he. I think they are like a 12. I think it's a 12 hour difference. It can mess up your sleep patterns and everything. And weather and geography. Quick facts. Compare by travel experts. So in other words, get into that, but that's important. Saying about Zimbabwe before I move on, because I'm at 42 minutes. Zimbabwe. So ZIMBAB, Zimbabwe. See, Zimbabwe is a landlocked country in southern Africa known for its dramatic landscape within parks, reserves, and safari areas on the Zambezi River. Victoria Falls, 8-mile drop into narrow Batoka, George, where there's white water. Zimbabwe and Matu Sedona and Cruz and bird life. So in other words, hippos, rhinos, hawks, and bird life. Bird life. Pools to hippos. Those are some things that are good to know. It says they use the United States dollar. Gross domestic product over there in Zimbabwe is 28 US dollars. World Bank. So to me, they use the US dollars over there. That's what it's saying. From my understanding, Zimbabwe and is currently ranked 117 Zimbabwe in the world. Inflation in Zimbabwe in 2022 was around 104.71%. Way falls among the poorest. It should be probably one of the poorest, but it says Zimbabwe falls among the poorest countries. It says it is a country of superlatives thanks to Victoria Falls, the largest waterfall in the world. So Zimbabwe has, a large waterfall in Lake Kariba, the largest one of Poole's team with wildlife, making Zimbabwe one of the continent's best places to go on traveling to Zimbabwe. But just, a little interest in these 54 countries in Nigeria. I mean, in Africa. I don't know why you said Nigeria. So let's see. Zimbabwe's culture, BAB. Sure. So 46 minutes over there in Nigeria. Ukanga, he did tell me that they have different tribes over there. Yeah, they have to marry outside of their tribe. It says Zimbabwean tribe collectivistic. Some of the words they use for protection. There is a great emphasis on communal gathering within tribes. Where people share stories, music, the way they go, different than what we wear over here in the United States of America, I mean, because over here we like our jeans and t-shirt, shoes, and different things, but it's all good. I'm always up for a beautiful outfit, cute little pair. I'm up for trying and looking at different clothing in different cultures. I don't mind if it looks good. I don't mind. So Zimbabwe culture. So let's get into this, and then I'm gonna jump into Rwanda. So so in other words, Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwe long tradition of storytelling and folklore that provides each generation with a sense of connection to their history and ancestors. So in other words, in their culture, they like to, they have a long standing tradition of doing a lot of folklore that provides each generation with a sense of connection to their history and ancestors, to their ancestors. I mean, we can do the same. We probably do the same thing over here, storytelling and dance, and we think about our ancestors as well. Because I know my grandmother, her house was like down in the country. So you think about that. They used to have they like the little cookouts and all that, and sitting around talking and eating. Part of the culture. Just eating your food and talking and get up and dance if you want to. So I would consider that as part of them. So in other words, they tell you that they're saying that in the African culture they do the same. They do some dress code. The outfits that they wear. Ladies, they cook their food, and to see them talk about grilling as much as we do over here, though. Grilling. I mean, so far in my research, I haven't seen none of no information that called. But if they did, may have been a little. But I know over here in the United States, so that's part of our culture. We deal with the hip hop, rap music, hip hop music, jazz, gospel music, church music. It says music and dance. So we do music and dance over here in culture. The traditional distinctive and showcase the color, creativity, spirit, and joy. And also says it says the mbira. I guess that's the instrument over here. It says the mbira is a piece of wood with metal keys. A piece of wood with metal keys. I mean, it's like a piano or keyboard. It has a light. It has a light, warm, acoustic sound. And is used in bird taxes govern the weather and chase away sickness, among other purposes. This is Zimbabwe. There are many other rituals and ceremonial practices in Zimbabwe. Some are more widely practiced. Many relate to celebrating milestones in people's lives, such to manhood. Traditional ceremonies, festivals, and rituals also usually involve contacting stuff. I guess they saying that they play this instrument, this type of instrument called that instrument was called, and they said it was, so the instrument called the mbira, and that's how they used this instrument called the mbira. It's a piece of wood with metal cube. The spiritual world. They have a ceremony trying to get in touch with the spiritual world. So I get religion. They use that when they have for the boys, introducing them to manhood. So over here in the United States, over here, it says because many stones in people's lives, such as marriage, the installation of chief, or the circumcision of do it in the hospital. So it's so good though. What? That's in their culture. That's the sure. What? Yes. So, yeah. So, but and those things hurt. When my son was born, they did the circumcision, and you can hear the babies in the nursery crying. It's crying. So that, you but they don't have parents does over here. We don't have to have that done to our, but so it's our choice. Okay, so 5 minutes already. Let me move to Rwanda because I don't want to make the video too long. See, it's Rwanda's culture. 10 interesting facts. Cultural differences. Check out their I guess I would say check out the research. You want to find out, like I said, languages. If you feel like you know the languages that they speak, you might want to see if you can study a little bit. See if you can learn a little bit about the language. And then now, then since COVID has, you have to check into that. You have to see if you have to get tested before you go. Before you get on a plane, because at one time it was mandatory that you had to get tested before you get on a plane because they want to make sure that you don't have it. Nigeria, any of those continents, Nigeria, Africa, Asia, Europe, within the states. You're going to California, you're going to New York, you're going wherever you're going, but you have to check out that, those things, the COVID. Check out, doing research on the culture, doing research on the area you're going in. If you're going to share, it's just so many different things, that you have to. So they are saying it is interesting. Yeah. So now Rwanda, did you know it's so most people think about Rwanda, the 1994 genocide is often the first thing that comes to mind. Some way in bringing unity to their country. Here, Rwanda is one of 54 countries in Africa. So I said, I said Africa. What? Yes, it is so good. Yes. So Rwanda has a lot of hills. So it's a land of a lot of hills, characterized by its hilly and mountainous terrain. Rwanda got this nickname for good reason. To the peak of Mount Karisimbi at 4,507 m above sea level. So I don't know what that m is for. Is that miles? I don't know. There are 374 named mountains in Rwanda. 374 mountains. And this is a beautiful picture. Endangered mountain gorillas. Well, the Virunga Mountains that line the northern border of Rwanda are made of volcanoes. More than half of the population of remaining mountain gorillas live in these mountains. So you got gorillas that you learn about. I'm telling you, wow. and it is showing me a picture of the mountains and conservation efforts. The mountain gorillas have increased in number in recent years. So you go to Rwanda and you go out there in the mountains and you happen to see it. Is the most densely populated country on the continent of Africa. Rwanda, over 130 people. So Rwanda is a home. Is home to 13.4 million population. You know what? Rwanda is one of the smallest countries on the African continent. It's a state. It's a continent. And about a fourth of the size of the state of Pennsylvania. There are roughly 1,360 people, 10,169 square miles. Hello, what? No plastic bags here. But they are showing the people, but they're showing the apes swinging on trees. So a little bit more about these 54 countries in Africa. You can okay, it says no plastic bags here. Know about Rwanda, and it was Rwanda is the most densely populated country on the continent of Africa. Number 4, no plastic regulation. Rwanda is the cleanest country in Africa. In 2008. Tourists they do not just say, hey, you go to Rwanda, you can't take no plastic bags. So that is part of their, I guess you might say it's part of their culture. So it says tourists are not allowed to bring bags into the country, and stores will not give them out. Common alternatives are reusable bags, paper bags, or biodegradable bags made from these. So they're making their bags out of biodegradable. They have biodegradable bags, paper bags, cassava bags made from leaves. They're gonna lock you up. Nah, I don't know, but they may. You never know. They said you can't bring no bags in the country, so you have to listen. And that's Rwanda. Number 5, community work day. Another reason Rwanda is so clear. Umuganda, a national holiday that takes place on the last Saturday of every month. From 8 contribute to the overall national development. It's all good, though. It's all good, though. Oh, God. Yes, Mr. And I want to know more about the culture. What was it like growing up in Nigeria? Born and raised in Nigeria. So, all right. So number 6, Kigali. Kigali to keeping the streets clean. Rwandans are also, these are very motorized vehicles. So that's a good idea. So they're trying to clean up the Then they have the community work day. Then that's number 5. Then number 6, they try to clean up the air. So in other words, certain days. I thought I heard about them doing it over here in the U.S. before. I mean, that would be a good idea. Clean up this first and the third Sundays of every month. Major streets are closed. On the first, on the third, no, on the first and third Sunday, the cars off the road. But if you need to go out, you have to walk. But that's all good. That's all good too. I mean, you got to walk. But you go ahead of time when you know the days that they're going to close the main roads. You get ahead of groceries. That's what we have to do. Kids got to go to school. Whatever. But major streets are closed vehicles. In addition to limiting the air pollution case by gas and other healthy activity. What is so good? Yes. So number 7, that's all right. Okay, Kenya, Kinyarwanda, commonly known as Rwanda, before 1994, French was the language taught to children. Rwandan people, the residents of Rwanda. It says French was the language taught, for the children. Following the Rwandan genocide, the Kiswahili, commonly known as Swahili, is also taught fewer than 1% of Rwandans. Number 8, Rwanda has Central Africa's largest protected Akagera National Park, located along Rwanda's eastern border. It's home to 12,000 animals. See, that's for the animals. You can't have no animals in your house. I mean, unless you have a dog, a couple cats, but National Zoo, and that's where we keep our animals over here in the American culture. But over here, let me see what they're saying. Akagera National Park, located along Rwanda's eastern border, is home to over 12 home to the animals. Well, I guess they have, the cages for them and certain areas for them. In addition to its environment, other people living in the surrounding areas by offering employment opportunities. In addition to working in the park, the area is the main source of Rwanda's honey. Honey farms were established poaching. Number 9. Women make up more than half of Parliament. 18% of Rwandan Parliament members were women. This number has grown in 2003. A 30% quota was set for women in Parliament. Majority, 56%. Today, that number sits at 61%. 7,7 have to resources churches who minister to people, ministry and funding for the food park program. Self, it's all good. Yes. So it's that is important to me, is enlightening, is educational, and is want to call it bar program. They have the CH the same thing we do over here. Like childhood hunger, we try to fight uh, uh, homelessness, and we try that, and different things that plagues our people. Uh, and the American partner located with the south of Kigali in Vegasera, and to the east of those cities. These faithful pastors and church members faithfully volunteer their time to visit families in need and deliver food packs, building relationships, and sharing the gospel. So they so in their culture also they Rwanda and cause this uh to try, to put a stop to have to try from the children. But I was trying, let me see. So the last one is Niger, but let me see. RWA, Rwanda language. Okay. So it says Rwanda, officially known as Ikinyarwanda, is a Bantu language and the national language of a dialect of the Rwanda Rundi language that is also spoken in Burundi and Democratic Republic of the Congo, Uganda, and Tanzania. Languages. I just read about the languages. It says language of Rwanda, Kinyarwanda. That's the national language of Rwanda and the first language of almost the entire population of the country. The country's official languages are they speak English and they speak their national language. I had to travel to Rwanda, just in case any of us decides to travel to Rwanda, speak English, French, English, Swahili. They do have the language. That's something I like to see. They have the Rwanda sign language. It's used by the educated. Different population in Rwanda prefers to mix French and Kinyarwanda in a pidgin like way. Right, they have it right in Africa. So this is one of the countries in Africa. So why not? With Ken because I know my friend uh, Onukanga and to his brother, but so he he may talk to his brother. He could be talking to me, and then he'll talk to his brother, and then he start start talking this different language. I don't know what language I know it's the language for their culture. Then he started talking in Nigerian language, and I'm like, what did y'all say? Around me speaking there because they could be talking about you. What? No, it's all good though. But it's all good. Yes. But Mr. Oh God, so him and his brother, they get to talking this type of just like my my son's friend, his baby mother, my grandma, she speaks English very, and so she was saying something to my son one time, and then she turned in the Spanish language. And I'm like, what you say? It didn't tell me what she said because you had to be careful with that. They can say something about you. But it's all good. Yes. So what I want to do in Africa, you know, other languages in some of these 54 countries in Africa about them. I want to learn some more French and I want to learn some more Spanish. But it's all good. There's nothing wrong. I'm not satisfied with that. I want to learn a little bit more. I want to learn a little bit. Yeah, I mean that. I don't like I'm from Spain. I don't want to learn it that much like that. You know, it's all good. What? So let me. So they do speak the language of Swahili. Swahili. They speak Swahili. They speak French. They speak English, and they speak their Honda. What they call it? No, Okita. Is the national language of Rwanda. Kenya. Rwanda. In English, Swahili, but I don't know what that entails. But so, so let me go to Niger. Let me go with Niger because I'm already an hour and 18 minutes. Let's go to Niger. So Niger, the Niger culture. There's a culture of Niger, dominant religion in Niger. Islam is a dominant religion of the population. What? Oh yeah, approximately 95% of Muslims are Sunni. 5%. Okay, let me click on this. Let me click on this and see what this is saying. It says the cultural crossroads which French colonialism formed into a unified state from the beginning of the 20th century. What is now Niger was created from four distinct, but it's just a lot to learn. It's a lot to learn. So the culture of cultural crossroads, which French colonialism formed, while successive poets have tried to forge a shared national culture. This has been histories, and in part because Nigerian ethnic groups such as the Hausa and the Tuareg and part of large, but are but part of larger ethnic communities which cross borders, introduced in the 1990s. Government and politics was in order in the Germa people of the surrounding region. The French had promoted the Germa royalty under their rule after having first placed their capital in a powerful pre-colonial Hausa state. All village, apart from fear of upon Hausa power of imperial, reverting to a tiny traditional and educated elite. Despite this, only the Tuareg and Togo and East have generally, I guess these are different words, that come, these words come from the, particular types of people in this, well, it's a national culture. So I'm not going to read too much of this. Islam is the dominant religion in Niger. Islam is practiced by more than 99% of the population. So they practice Islam. Approximately 95% of Muslims are Baha communities. The first largely a remnant of French colonial influence include both animist-based festivals and traditions, such as the Bori cult, Muslim communities, as opposed to several small communities who maintain their pre-Islamic Islam. It's all good. So let me move from this, and they do say a lot. They do say something about the language of choice. Since it's so good. So there are 8 other official languages spoken in Niger. They have the Hausa, the Zamajeg. I never even. I mean, I guess these words are Arabic. I heard of Arabic. That's the only one I have heard of. Arabic. I would love to just have a small article, because this is 123. I'm trying to hurry up. What is the culture of Niger? It says, in religion, Islam spread from North Africa has greatly shaped the morals of the people of Niger. Since independence, great interest has been in the country's culture with respect to traditional architecture, handcrafts, dances, and music. So a lot of these African cultures, they do a lot of dance, A lot of dances, crafts, and music and art and different customs. The food that they cook. They like their soups and their rices. Just like the Chinese culture. They like a lot of rice. A whole lot of other cuisines besides rice. So what is Niger best known for? Niger has its own dinosaur. Niger has its own dinosaur. Niger is home to the highest mud brick structure in the world. Project, largest known animal carving. So if you want to try, so the things you should know about Niger. The air and Africa span million hectares. The area in comparison species and wild animals. We see it. We don't see no wild animals over here. But you go to Niger, that's what they say. Niger has its own dinosaur. What? Now this what? Now oh my gracious. What? What is own dinosaur? But the dinosaurs, I thought the dinosaurs became extinct. Yeah, at all. It has the 30-foot her is it still alive? Around 100 million years ago. Okay, so they don't have it no more. So it lived. Yeah, according to the experts, it would have lived alongside the sucker mammals, the plant eaters, our range of super crop. Saurus had a delicate skull and a wide mouth line. So I had to write this down because this has their own dinosaur 100 years ago. See what you can find out when you research, but it's so good. Your research, what? Oh, God, yes. So I sent the link, but maybe next time he would come up. I sent the link to the brother, but I don't know if they sleep. But they're 5:39 here in the U.S. and it should be 10:39 in Nigeria. What? Yes. So let me hurry up and finish this because I'm already at 1:29. Okay. So Niger is home to the high world, located in the historic heart of Agadir, the Rwanda Mosque soars 27 meters high, making it the tallest minaret minaret in the world. So in other words, Niger is home to the highest mud brick structure. Also, they had their own dynasty. So number 4, Niger is part of the Africa Project, the world's most ambitious reforest by 1,000 kilometers, 6,000 miles cross continental bounty. It aims to livelihoods in one of the world's poorest regions, living on the front line of the land. Will also capture and reduce conflict, terrorism, and migration. So now, Niger Wall, the Africa Project, the world's most ambitious reforestation. Oh wow! Then it's Niger's home to one of the known animal carvings. It's the largest known animal carving in the world. The prehistoric art is located in an area known as the Tenere Desert. Tenere means where there's nothing, so it gives Niger is home to one of the world's largest known, and Niger has been inhabited for over 50,000 years. Evidence suggests that humans have lived in Niger for nearly 6. Experts have concluded that humans inhabited to huge grasslands and around 7,000 BCE. However, it's likely humans have lived here from even, so they're saying they lived there earlier. In neighboring Chad, researchers found the Australopithecus Harel-Ghazali remains dating back 2 to 3 million years ago, centuries. Niger was part of the handful of West African empires, including so it played in the gold, salt, and slave trade. Then came the French in 1890 till 1958, when it became it's so what? So Niger stability as well as a series of coasts. This combined with droughts and insurgency has made it one of the poorest countries in the world. Niger in the world, not just in Africa, but in the world, they're saying countries in the world. We're moving into fall. Yeah, the Sahara Desert covers. I heard about the Sahara Desert. One of the hottest countries in the world. Certification threatened the non-desert portion of the country too. So remember, if you go to Niger, it's one of the hottest countries. I don't think I will even be going. So I think that's the end of my presentation. So I'm at 134, and I don't know. I can always do a little more research on all three of them, but I will be bringing you different what. But I want to end on this note. So that was Zimbabwe Rwanda, and Niger, 3 countries. So yes, 3 countries in Africa. I want to say thanks for joining. Yes. So join me on my other channel, yeah, on TV entertainment and brainstorm production. I don't know if that's a little bit too much for me. Yes, but just sitting back thinking about the content I want to bring to my channel. Yes, I want to bring my channel to educational content, enlightening content, inspirational content. I want to bring content that someone educates someone, not a lot of gossip. And I'm into education because I did get my bachelor's in States of America, and I have my master's in information systems right here in the United States of America. I wanted to build my education, cooking different foods. I have my cooking channel, cooking with him and his family. So I want to get some insight from him on different recipes that they do cook, different recipes, different cuisine. Nigeria, one of 54 countries in Africa. What? Yes, so close out on this note. So I'm at 137. I want to say thank you on my other, one of my other channels. Yeah, so follow us on TikTok. It's called TV One Productions, and I think it's Brainstorm. Let me see, it's Brainstorm. So it is Brainstorm Productions. So Brainstorm Productions, and then also have Brainstorm TV One Productions. So Brainstorm Productions. I think it's Brainstorm TV One Production on TikTok. My 2 pages on TikTok. But so Onukanga, he's definitely involved in. So he's definitely involved in all my channels. But follow us on TikTok as well. So I'm gonna close out a video. I have Mr. Onuku, either him or his brother, or somebody in his family. What? What? Yes, somebody in his family. What? On that note to say, so I want to say cooking with Onukanga and Cheryl. So what? It's all good.